delicious, nutritious, and fabulously fun.
Is this real life?
Best of all, your comments.
That was a real money saver. Thanks, Randall.
So did it work out for you?
Your hotel tip was spot on.
You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. But don't just sit there. It's an interactive program, honey.
Are you sure this is legal? I don't know. It's fun though, isn't it?
Pick your pleasure. Tweet, chat, post, email, even call us on the telly. Whatever works for you. Our topics today: food, drinks, travel, and a whole lot more fun. So let's pop the cork on this thing and get the party started. Give it up now for our fantastic host, the wonderful and talented Mr. Randall White.
I think that's the champagne talking.
A good fun day morning, everyone. Fun day morning. Great to have you listening today as we discuss current trends in food, beverages, travel, and tourism. And as always, we keep it healthy and sustainable here at Eat, Drink, Explore Radio. We are broadcasting live, as always, from the Eat, Drink, Explore studios on California's lovely Central Coast. And straight ahead this hour, Miss Patty Pyburn will be joining me as well, off to my right here with the news in just a moment. But boy, do we have a fantastic show straight ahead. Really, a guest lineup. Sometimes I get excited about I'm always excited about the show, but sometimes I'm like, wow.
Just can't wait to talk to him.
Yeah. Straight ahead this hour, we will speak with a woman who says she has 7 shocking, those are her words, shocking reasons why you should go organic today, starting today. So you'll want to listen to that. Also, California, as you know, it's a big state, and it makes for some business people or people with family that are spread in different regions like myself to be frequent flyers. Well, now there is a California-based airline offering an all-you-can-fly option. It's like a buffet for flyers, okay, serving Palo Alto, Monterey, Santa Barbara, and Los Angeles. We'll explain how this business model works and makes money as well. Luxury resorts are the destination du jour for our travel deals segment as we delve into a bargain offering website known as Sneakaway. Fresh cocktails, and a list of the top farmers markets in California and the U.S., and the man behind some popular Highway 101 art. But first, it's the top of the hour and time once again for the latest from the Eat, Drink, Explore news desk. I just mouthed that for people that were watching it.
Very nice. Very nice.
Watching at home. I don't know if it worked well or not.
I was thinking that we were watching one of those old Godzilla movies or something.
All right. Patty Pyburn is here, and she does have the latest from the Eat, Drink, Explore news desk. What do we got, Patty?
We have lots of good information is what we have this morning. Good morning to everyone out there. Letting your child travel alone can certainly be a nerve-wracking experience for parents, especially the younger ones. It is a service airlines offer and charge extra for. In June, 10-year-old Phoebe Clabon was traveling to summer camp. Phoebe didn't show up for more than an hour at the O'Hare Airport. The United Airlines attendant who was supposed to help her get to her connecting flight didn't show up and left her stranded. She didn't know what to do. Well, Phoebe's parents got a call that she did not make her connecting flight. Of course, that's upsetting. Apparently, when Phoebe asked for assistance at the airport, United Airlines employees said they were too busy. Well, as it turns out, Phoebe's parents got her a flight home from summer camp on a different airline. Makes sense. When staying in a hotel, you can expect a clean bed that is bug-free. Well, that's at least what you expect. An article in USA Today shows 5 ways to avoid bed bugs. They say, first, check your bed when you arrive. Pull back the sheets, take a look at the mattress. Look and see if there are any pepper-like stains, usually in the corners, and also just check for the bugs themselves. Sometimes you can see them. If you notice signs of bed bugs, request a room change. Also, don't leave your luggage on the ground. Hang up your clothes, and finally, keep everything off the ground. Not just your clothing, everything. And when you get home, debug your luggage and your clothes. All right, joining us now, Nicole Powers. She is going to let us know about whether we should be eating egg yolks. This is no yolk, right?
It is, Patty. According to a new study published in Atherosclerosis, consumers are led to believe that eating egg yolks is okay because of marketing. Egg marketers say that eggs are a part of a healthy diet and back this up by using 2 well-known studies, one of these conducted by Harvard University. Now, these studies used healthy people, and they didn't look at long-term outcomes, which this new study reports makes them unreliable because they say if you're 25 years old and you're eating an unhealthy diet, you still would not have a heart attack for another 30 years. So the lead author of this study invented what is called egg yolk years. This is how many eggs per week are consumed multiplied by how many years consumed. And the more egg yolk years a person has, the more you will see accelerated growth of plaque in their arteries. I spoke to the lead author, and this is what else he had to say.
If you want to live to be 80 without having a stroke, you don't want to be piling more plaque on your arteries over the years in between. The only people who should eat egg yolks on a regular basis are people who know they're going to die young.
That was Dr. David Spence, and what he is saying is that egg yolks should not be a part of anyone's diet. And the study also says that plaque buildup from the egg yolks happens in a similar manner to smoking. Dr. Spence suggests that we stick to a Mediterranean diet, which consists of more vegetables and less meat in comparison to Americans' diets.
Well, Nicole, all of that sounds really great.
I know, it's really sad, though.
You like the Mediterranean diet? Sounds great, but I also like to include eggs with that, so I don't like the rest of it.
He did say that egg whites are okay, so you could still make an egg white omelet.
Right.
Yes.
All right. Very interesting, Nicole. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, some new interesting food information. Chemists created a new chocolate with half the fat and half the guilt. The other half of the fat, which comes mostly from the cocoa butter and milk fats, is now being replaced by fruit juice. The chemist infused orange and cranberry juice into the milk, retaining the melt-in-your-mouth chocolate sensation. Now, the half-fat chocolate does have hints of the fruit flavor. The chemists say they can also use water and small amounts of vitamin C to maintain that chocolate melting experience. Well, a study on obesity rates in the U.S. just released this week shows more than 30% of the population in 12 states are considered obese. The study used reports from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Mississippi is the most obese state with nearly a 35% obesity rate. Colorado has the lowest number in the country with about 21%. Researchers in the future say they plan to include projections for obesity in each state for the year 2030. All right, we have some cool summer air that is helping some of the United States, a cold front bringing in some much-needed showers for the plains and the Midwest. We see some storms lingering around the U.S. That shouldn't last too long, but it should bring those temperatures back down. The Central Coast here is seeing just a slight rise in temperatures. We have some highs in the 80s if you are in the inland areas. Some of our inland areas are a little bit warmer into the 90s, but it's a little bit better, and we do have that slight chance, Randall, of the thunder showers for the mountainous areas, especially south in the southern portion of Santa Barbara County mountains.
Yeah, we're getting, and this happens from time to time at the end of August, September. We get that humidity that comes up from the Gulf of Mexico and such, and so we're feeling it a little bit, with the clouds this weekend. I got to tell you, Nicole's egg study really bums me out because
I know. I was inside crying about hollandaise sauce.
Oh, yeah. Right. That's a oak year right there for sure. I'll tell you what, for most of my adult life, I've eaten egg whites. And then I had some fried eggs at my parents' house about a year ago, and I'm like, this is delicious. And I've seen reports that say egg yolks are okay. I'm going to start doing egg yolks again.
Yes.
And so I have been for like the last year, and now I think I'm going to switch back the other direction. Kind of a bummer. Okay, so just after the break, Miss Pyburn, it is our health and fitness segment, and we're discussing the author behind an article in this month's edition of Organic Gardening Magazine titled 7 Shocking Reasons to Go Organic. If you haven't already, you are listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network live from the Central Coast. I'm your host, Randall White, and we are back in just a moment.
Seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit pesticidefreelawns.org. The folks who brought you this public service message. Check out pesticidefreelawns.org today.
You'll never see another show like Confessions of a Love Junkie. Poignant, hilarious, moving, thrilling. It's a roller coaster ride for all the senses. A cast of characters you'll fall in love with, dances of every genre, side-splitting comedy, and moments of sheer beauty. A therapist trying to work through her own love-related issues while working with 4 clients. The good girl ready to go bad. The player who's also a mama's boy, the couple grappling with marriage issues, and the fresh out of the closet guy with an identity crisis. This show tickles the funny bone, captivates the mind, and takes you on a journey you'll never forget. 3 shows only at the Performing Arts Center in San Luis Obispo, Friday, August 17th at 7 p.m., Saturday, August 18th at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. For tickets, call 805-756-ARTS. That's 805-756-2787. Come on down to the beautiful Central Coast and see the show you'll talk about for weeks. Confessions of a Love Junkie. Some mature content suggested for ages 16 and over.
Take a moment and see if you can guess what I'm doing. I'm getting healthy by walking. Walking daily has tons of health benefits, managing weight, lowering cholesterol and blood pressure, and improving your overall mood. So, whether it's around your neighborhood or over your lunch break, just take a walk. For your free booklet, visit wrinstitute.org or call toll-free 877-957-7575 and find us on Facebook and Twitter. The Will Rogers Institute, since 1936.
The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back shortly. Did you know our weekly Saturday morning radio show also has a video simulcast on Ustream? You can watch it live or view pre-recorded versions while on the go by simply downloading our free Eat, Drink, Explore app for your smartphone or tablet device. To find it, just head to Google Play or the Apple App Store and search Eat, Drink, Explore. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Curious about information you've heard on today's show? Just head to eatdrinkexplore.com and head to the weekly program summary section under the radio tab. We always list the websites and any other important facts associated with each of our guests we have on the program. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. And a very, very good morning to you on this beautiful weekend day, as always. Hey, I have some good news. Our producer, Cora, who popped her head in during the commercial break here, told me that, well, it's sort of a mixture of news. It's sad news because she just lost her grandfather, 99 and a half years old. But he lived a wonderful life, and the family is actually celebrating what a wonderful life he led. Mm-hmm. But she said, guess what? He had 2 eggs every single day with the yolk.
So there.
So he had like a lot of yolk years.
Yeah, lots of yolk years.
He's a colonel because he served in World War II.
Wow.
So our memorial
and he ate
hats
his
off.
eggs, yolks and all.
Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah. Great guy, I understand, Cora says. And so sad news, but a wonderful life lived, which is fantastic. All right, Patty Pyburn, we have a great guest. As you know, this is our health and fitness segment and a chance for us to take a look at the food, beverages, and activities in your life, my life, your life at home, from the standpoint of your overall well-being. And after that last comment, we're not having any more talk about yolks right now.
This will be a yolk-free radio segment.
If you're going to have yolks, make sure they are organic eggs. That's all I can say. All right, this week I found an article in Organic Gardening Magazine that I thought was worth a second look for sure. It's called, and the title got me, so I'm going to ask about the title, 7 Shocking Reasons to Go Organic. It was co-written by Emily Main, who joins us now to discuss the points. And a very good day to you, Emily.
Well, hello. Thanks for having me, and good day to you, too.
So I'm curious, Why shocking? When you were putting the title together, what was the discussion there?
Well, a lot of people ask us why they need to start eating organic food, and you tend to get this very repetitive answer. It's healthier for you because it doesn't have pesticides, it's grown without synthetic fertilizers, but there are actually a lot more reasons that people should be eating organic food, and a lot of them are pretty disturbing. And they're facts that not many people think about, especially, or even know about when they're weighing the pros and cons of organic versus conventionally grown food.
And you have 7 of them. First off, you call it the common sense eating option.
Yes. Well, obviously, from our perspective, anything that you can do that's going to make yourself healthier, it's going to make the planet better, it's going to benefit a local farmer more, it just makes common sense. There are dozens of reasons, like I said, that you should eat organic food. And when you hear them all, and when you get through our list of our 7 shocking reasons, you start to think that, yes, it is, in fact, a pretty common sense eating option.
All right, let's start with shocking reason number 1, which is it's raining corn chemicals. That's your headline for it. And I don't even think I need you to explain it, but go ahead.
Well, we were pretty surprised by this, too. A U.S. Geological Survey study came out in August of last year where they actually detected herbicides used on corn in rain. So it literally is raining pesticides in the Mississippi River Basin. And the pesticide that they found, it's actually an herbicide called glyphosate, and it's the primary ingredient in Roundup, which is probably one of the most commonly used herbicides in the United States, especially in the corn belt of Iowa and Illinois and along the Mississippi River.
And Roundup is the chemical made by Monsanto, right? And what they do is they then genetically engineer the corn so that it won't die when it's sprayed with the Roundup, so the weeds die and the corn doesn't, correct?
Exactly. So, the genetically modified seeds are essentially sort of a marketing a vehicle for their pesticide because they developed a seed that was saved as a pesticide, so you have to buy both, and so they benefit twice.
All right, and your second shocking reason is we're eating shampoo chemicals?
Yeah, this is another pretty disturbing fact. When farmers fertilize their fields, they do use synthetic fertilizers made from oil, but they also use something that the industry likes to delicately call biosolids, and it's actually the sludge that's left over in wastewater treatment plants. So, not to get too graphic, but it's basically human waste that they have dried out and they're spreading as fertilizer on cornfields. Well, when you think about everything that you eat and put on your body, and when you wash that out and when it gets eliminated, it goes into down your shower drain and down your toilet and into the wastewater treatment plants. And they are not equipped to remove all the chemicals from the sewage sludge. So things, the chemical equipment that we're talking about here is one called phthalates, and they're used in artificial fragrances, in shampoo, in soap, in pretty much any personal care product, cleaning products, anything that has a synthetic fragrance. And they don't break down very easily when exposed to water or sunlight, and so they make it past the wastewater treatment plant into this sewage sludge that they then put on fields, and those chemicals actually get taken up by the plants through their roots. And so a number of researchers have detected phthalates along with a number of other chemicals used in personal care products in food.
So in a perfect world, if everyone was using, organic materials while they were, bathing and such, because it is a good thing to use up that sludge and to reuse wastewater for lawns and parks and that sort of thing, but not if not if it's being then used on the fertilizer with these chemicals in it.
Yeah, and it's not actually, it's not as beneficial as you might think, because in addition to the shampoo chemicals, they also find things like heavy metals, lead, mercury, and other really toxic materials in this sewage sludge. And so it sounds like a really good idea, who doesn't want to reuse this stuff, because it's better, to reuse it than to just throw it away. But the stuff is pretty toxic, and so in organic farming, that practice is prohibited. They can't use human sewage sludge on organic farms.
So your third point, and we'll probably have to go a little bit faster to get through all these, but pesticides are making us chubby?
Yeah, it's actually pesticides. The chemical used in pesticide, glyphosate, has been found in a number of studies to interfere with the endocrine system and the hormones that regulate insulin and weight gain, and they're finding that farmers and pesticide applicators and even people with high levels of it in their blood are more likely to be obese and diabetic.
Okay, so I've been eating organic on my diet, and I've lost 17 pounds, so maybe you've got a good point there. All right, number 4 is pesticides may raise your diabetes risk.
Right, and it's, again, it's the same chemicals, the pesticides, and how they interfere with your endocrine system and your thyroid hormones. But they've also found that the inert ingredients, which are the chemicals that help pesticides do their jobs, are just as problematic as the pesticides themselves. And so they all have this cumulative effect on your body.
And those same pesticides could be interfering with your vitamin D levels?
Right. They interfere with the way that your body absorbs vitamin D, which is an extremely vital mineral that a lot of people are deficient in, and that they're finding all these health problems tied to vitamin D deficiency, and pesticides interfere with the way that your body absorbs it, so it makes the problem even that much worse.
Okay, 2 more to go here. Factory farmed meat can make you old fast.
Yeah, one of the common practices in especially poultry production is food producers package chickens with something called a brine solution, and it contains a chemical called sodium phosphate, and it's been associated with accelerated aging, which basically means that your body, the age process is speed up, your hardening of the arteries, your muscles begin to break down, your skin cells begin to break down, and they found that rats who have high levels of this in their body actually die sooner than rats that aren't exposed to as much of this.
And what type of, I guess any type of meat, that's factory farmed, it doesn't even have to be processed?
Well, anytime you look at a meat package and you see the words enhanced or in broth solution or marinated, anything like that, that usually means that this chemical has been added.
Okay. And then finally, organic farms could save rural economies. Right,
and this is one thing that we really do like to highlight, because there's so much negativity when you point out, why people should eat organic. It's usually in the light of what it isn't doing. But here's one thing that we really like to highlight that it is doing. And organic farming is actually very profitable, and it's much more profitable and and it creates more jobs than conventional farming. The UN has found that organic farms net on average $45,000 in profit compared to just $25,000 for non-organic farmers. And organic farmers are also more likely to hire more people because it's slightly more labor intensive.
Yeah.
Yet even with those added costs, they're still more profitable.
All right. Emily Main with Organic Gardening Magazine. So many great articles in that, on the online version even, which is free. I've checked it out many, many times. Thank you for joining us today, Emily. We really appreciate it with your 7 shocking reasons.
Well, thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
All right. Stick around. Up next in our business segment, we'll meet the man behind an all-you-can-fly airline based here in California. How does that work exactly, and where does it fly? We'll find out right after this short break. You are listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network, live from downtown San Luis Obispo. I'm your host, Randall White, and we're back in just a moment.
This is Betty White. I know you don't need one more thing to worry about, but listen, high blood pressure can cause kidney damage, blindness, heart attack, stroke, and you can have high blood pressure even if you feel all right. 1 in 7 adults has it, but it's easy to get your blood pressure checked, and you can treat it if it is too high. So don't worry about it, don't ignore it, just see your doctor and check it out.
For your free booklet, visit the Will Rogers Institute at wrinstitute.org and find us on Facebook and Twitter.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back shortly. Did you know our weekly Saturday morning radio show also has a video simulcast on Ustream? You can watch it live or view pre-recorded versions while on the go by simply downloading our free Eat, Drink, Explore app for your smartphone or tablet device. To find it, just head to Google Play or the Apple App Store and search Eat, Drink, Explore. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Curious about information you've heard on today's show? Just head to eatdrinkexplore.com and head to the weekly program summary section under the radio tab. We always list the websites and any other important facts associated with each of our guests we have on the program. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Thank you for being a regular listener to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program. If you have any feedback for us, we'd love to hear it. Simply send a note to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. And a very good morning to you. Hope your weekend is free of too many chores or tasks and you're able to enjoy yourself a bit. Maybe take a quick trip. Hey, if you belonged to our next guest's airline program, you could just sort of make a last minute jump on a plane and not even worry about the cost. That's right. I'm your host, Randall White, and we discuss food, wine, craft beer, travel, and tourism each week at this very time, right here on this very station, broadcasting live from our studio here on the Central Coast, halfway between Los Angeles and San Francisco. And as somebody who has family and job duties in both Southern and Northern California, we jump around a lot. A lot, let me tell you. Well, now there's an airline offering all-you-can-fly membership to several destinations in California. It's a unique business model, to be sure. So let's find out how it works. Wade Irely is the CEO and co-founder of Surf Air and joins us here on Eat, Drink, Explore Radio. Good morning, Wade.
Good morning to you. How you doing?
Good. Thank you so much. And one thing, I just want to thank you so much for going out of your way to reach a landline for us this morning. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, no worries. I'm sitting in a hotel lobby, so hopefully it'll work out.
Okay, cool. So, Wade, how does this work exactly? You buy like an annual membership, or is it monthly? How does that? What are the details?
Yeah, so it's a monthly recurring membership. So initially, when you sign up, it's a 90-day commitment, and then it goes month to month.
I see. And once you sign up and are paying this, which is essentially like, a gym membership. First you have a membership of several months, and then it breaks down to once a month.
Right.
You can fly as often as flights are scheduled?
Correct. So it's really a private airline. So think of it like if you were going to book flights on United and you had a $1 million account with United, so you weren't worried about what it cost. You're
I
gonna pick
see.
a flight and you're going to go.
Okay, but it won't cost people $1 million, right?
Absolutely not. We think the cost is going to be just around $1,000 a month.
So $1,000 a month, and considering how much people from, say, the Silicon Valley fly down to L.A. and vice versa, and some of the Central Coast locations that you offer as well, that's a pretty good deal.
We think so.
So right now you're offering Palo Alto, correct?
Palo Alto,
Monterey,
Santa Barbara, and Van Nuys, Los Angeles.
And okay, and so how long have you been operating?
So our first flights should go up by the end of the year.
By the end of the year. And what do you anticipate to be the busiest route?
Oh, clearly the route between L.A. and Silicon Valley. I mean, you have the emerging digital entertainment world and the marriage between that and the technology world of Silicon Valley. And I think we're servicing very directly that particular client group.
Okay, and then you threw in Santa Barbara and Monterey for what?
Those are fantastic destinations, and what we're trying to test with that is if we can teach you to fly to places you normally drive to.
I see. And which I drive to all of these destinations. But
yeah, right now, most people drive to those destinations because flying anywhere is a 4-hour ordeal between time at the airport, getting there, waits, delays, and then finally getting out of the airport.
And
we fix that.
And you're going to smaller, more private airports, right? So you skip the whole security portion?
So we're flying 8-passenger private planes, executive planes, and we're flying in and out of those regional airports much closer to your end destination. Exactly right.
What would be the typical length of a flight from Palo Alto to Van Nuys?
It's 72 minutes, I think.
72 minutes. Okay, that's way better than going down I-5.
Yeah, and it's it takes, I think, 6 minutes longer than it'd take you to fly in a 737. But your airport experience is vastly different. So you're going to drive up, give the keys of your car to the valet, get on the plane, and go.
Now, if I remember correctly, our news desk, Patty Pyburn, had a story on this back in, was it like March or April, Patty? And you had, at that time, did you include Lake Tahoe in the mix?
Yeah, so our second and third routes that we'll roll out, the second route will be Vegas, Palm Springs, San Diego, up to L.A., and the third route will go off the Bay Area up to Napa, Tahoe, and Sacramento.
As you add more routes, will the monthly fee increase, or those will just be in addition?
Those should be just additional services. The reality is you can never be more than one backside in a chair, so the math works the same for us.
Ah, okay. Was this like one of those light bulb moments for you? How did it all come about? When did you say, you know what California needs is an all-you-can-fly airline?
You know, in 2003, I began traveling as much as 27 days a month for the vice president of the White House. And I flew ahead of him. I flew last minute. I flew one way. I flew commercial. And that meant I got the bonus or the second TSA screening on every single flight.
Oh.
And I just had an intense personal experience with the pain that frequent flyers have. And so I spent the intervening sort of 5 or 6 years iterating, looking at models, and seeing if I couldn't find up some innovative ways to make some changes. It's America. That's what we do.
Right. Are there other airlines that currently exist using this model?
None using this model. There are a couple who have flirted with it or tried. If we were an NFL team, you could say we were solidly in the JetBlue coaching tree.
Right.
And in that sense, they've tried an all-you-can-fly pass a couple times and had some really interesting results that we think are really promising.
Well, I could see, let's see, where else would this work? Maybe in the Boston, New York, Philadelphia, that northeast corridor?
Oh, yeah, we've identified 53 routes where we think this works very well. 25 we're extremely confident in. And the easiest way to look and say if a route might work is whether or not the Obama administration's high-speed rail map has identified it, because they're looking at the same data sets of frequent travelers, people moving, shuttling back and forth between local cities.
Right. So wherever you see interest in the high-speed rail, that's where your outline might work as well.
That's right. We're flying destinations that are a 2.5 to 6 hour drive from home. That's our sweet spot.
Okay.
You're not going to fly on us New York to L.A. You're not going to fly on us, L.A. to Miami, but you are going to fly L.A. to San Francisco, L.A. to Vegas. That's what we're trying to build.
Yeah. So if I know where those routes are, like we said, the Northeast Corridor, and then like Chicago, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, that region, I think would fit perfectly up there too. Huh?
Every direction out of Chicago. Chicago, St. Louis, Kansas City, Chicago to Ohio, Chicago, Indianapolis, Detroit, Milwaukee. You've got the Texas, Dallas, San Antonio, Houston, Austin, Florida, Georgia to the coast, D.C. to New York to Boston.
So as is so often the case, something may start here in California and then spread across the U.S.?
Absolutely. So we came to California. None of us were from here. My founding team of 6, 3 of us were in D.C., one was in Dallas, another was in Vegas. We all moved here specifically to build it here. So
Really? Because you thought we'd be more open to it, or because of all the markets out there, this one is the most prime?
Actually, we came here because it's the most difficult regulatory environment in the U.S. to build a business, and if we tackle that first, then scaling becomes easier.
So, yeah, get it done here, and it'll almost automatically work in other places.
Exactly.
Interesting. It sounds like you've approached this from every possible angle.
Well, we've sure tried. Who knows what we don't know? But to quote Rumsfeld, we don't know what we don't know. But
Right. And so how is the interest in your product so far? So you plan to roll out at the end of the year. You announced when? Back in the spring?
So yeah, we announced in April. We came out of a startup incubator in LA called Mucker Lab, and we raised our Series A in June from Anthem Venture Partners here in LA and NEA up in New York, up in the Bay Area, and put together a good partnership team. We rolled out, sort of announced what we were going to do. We now have about 4.5 applications for every available spot we will launch with.
Really? That's a good position to start from, huh?
So, well, we're significantly oversold, so now we got to make sure that we don't disappoint those folks. We move quickly.
Right. And so once it starts rolling, you'll know exactly about how many people you need to have signed up for every seat. And what would happen if, say, I signed up for this, I'm expecting all-you-can-fly, the all-you-can-fly menu, and then I say, hey, I need to get, from Santa Barbara to Monterey, and I'm told the flight is sold out.
Yeah, so flights could sell out, of course, just like if you were to book a United flight and a United flight was sold out. What you're going to have is, it works the way, think of it like Netflix, unlimited DVDs, all you can watch movies, but you can only hold 4 at your house at once.
I see.
So we do the same thing. You can hold 4 boarding passes at once. And as soon as you book one or cancel one or fly one, you can book it again. As soon as you actually fly it, you book it again. But it keeps any one user from boxing out more than 4 seats at a time.
All right. We are speaking right now with Wade Irely. He's the CEO and co-founder of Surf Air, a one-of-a-kind startup here in California that will offer all-you-can-fly memberships. And currently the cities included are Palo Alto, Monterey, Santa Barbara, and Van Nuys down in the Los Angeles area. Palo Alto, very close to the Silicon Valley, of course. Van Nuys, close to just about everything in Southern California. It seems like you picked... How did you come up with the 4 originating airports?
We looked for what we call a commuting shed, places where people move back and forth regularly. And then because we wanted to see if we could convince people to fly to distances they currently drive, we looked at places where there are second homes or vacation homes. The biggest problem with a vacation home is that you don't see it enough.
Yeah.
So if we could provide that access, we thought we might be able to find a clientele in our members who'd be interested in that.
Wade, what are you looking at currently? 1 flight per day between the different cities, or a couple, like 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening, almost
goodness,
like a commute?
No, we're looking at more like 11 to 17 flights a day.
Really?
So we're working with the FAA to figure out, what schedule we're going to be able to have, if we can publish that schedule, how they're going to regulate us. Because we're new and we're in aviation, there's a lot of work to do with them on that side. That's the reason we're not flying today.
Okay.
But as we go forward and we figure out how they want us to function and what we're able to do, frequency is one of the critical questions for a service like this. If you got all you can fly and then the flight gets booked at 8 o'clock, what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you can't book again till tomorrow, you're not going to like it. So we
Right.
make sure that there's another flight coming.
There are people that live in LA and work in Silicon Valley and vice versa, right? So you might get daily users?
It's possible. When you look at the data, daily users are a little like unicorns. They don't quite exist because it's such a pain to fly now.
Right.
But there are people who move back and forth. If you look at your frequent traveler, they're averaging 2.5 round trips a month. And if you're a real super flyer, Bain consultant or something, they're going out on Monday and back on Thursday. So it's 4 round trips a month.
All right. Wade Irely, CEO and co-founder of Surf Air, thank you for explaining your business model, and good luck to you.
Thanks so much. I appreciate you for having us on.
All right, straight up, everyone. It's our popular travel deals segment, and this week we welcome a new guest to the program as we discuss bargain prices for luxury resorts. Everyone wants to stay in luxury, but how about staying there at half the price? You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. I'm your host, Randall White, and we are back in just a moment. Hope your morning's off to a fantastic start.
You'll never see another show like Confessions of a Love Junkie. Poignant, hilarious, moving, thrilling. It's a roller coaster ride for all the senses. Dances of every genre, side-splitting comedy, and moments of sheer beauty. 3 shows only at the Performing Arts Center in San Luis Obispo. Friday, August 17th at 7 p.m. Saturday, August 18th at 2 p.m. and 7 805-756-2787. Come on down to the beautiful Central Coast and see a show you'll talk about for weeks. Confessions of a Love Junkie, summer tour content, suggested
Hello,
for ages
this is
16 and
Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and I want to tell you about my new favorite discovery, Yosemite National Park. I recently went there with my husband and children, and we walked the trails to see the breathtaking waterfalls, admired the grand meadows, and giant sequoias. But the future of our national parks is uncertain. Many challenges face our parks today, from polluted air and water to development threats outside their borders and inadequate funding to protect our national heritage. That's why the National Parks Conservation Association recently completed a decade-long assessment of the challenges facing our national parks, along with proposed actions that will ensure our children and grandchildren will be able to enjoy the parks as we have. Our national parks have inspired Americans for nearly 100 years. As we approach the centennial of the National Park Service in 2016, please join us in helping to protect our national park legacy. Find out how at www.mpca.org.
This is Diane Lane. If you're thinking of exercising to keep more fit, that's great, but be sure to do it right. Give your body a chance to warm up before exercising and to cool down afterwards. Learn the correct way to run, lift, or to do any of the movements in your program. Don't push yourself harder or faster than your body is ready for. Exercising properly can make you more fit, more relaxed, and generally healthier. Carelessness or abuse can do just the opposite. So be careful.
A message from the Will Rogers Institute, wrinstitute.org.
The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back shortly. Did you know our weekly Saturday morning radio show also has a video simulcast on Ustream? You can watch it live or view pre-recorded versions while on the go by simply downloading our free Eat, Drink, Explore app for your smartphone or tablet device. To find it, just head to Google Play or the Apple App Store and search Eat, Drink, Explore. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Curious about information you've heard on today's show? Just head to eatdrinkexplore.com and head to the weekly program summary section under the radio tab. We always list the websites and any other important facts associated with each of our guests we have on the program. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly.
You've waited all week, and it's finally here. The Eat, Drink, Explore Weekly Travel Deals Extravaganza.
That's right. I've waited all week, but just because it's the weekend, that's what I'm waiting for, is the fantastic weekend. Hope yours is off to a good start. 8:49 the time. A very good day to you. I'm your host, Randall White, joined by the lovely and talented Patty Pyburn.
Good morning.
Who's a traveler as well. And it is time to hear insight from the best of the best, the gurus of bargains, the luminaries of budget travel. And this week, we are discussing the best ways to handle booking a resort at a lower price.
I like the lower price part.
So I get emails on I think it's a daily basis, from an operation known as Sneakaway. And it's not spelled S-N-E-A-K. It's S-N-I-Q-U-E away. And what it is it's last-minute bargains on some fantastic properties in resort areas, and they're always top of the line.
Very nice.
At a fraction of the price. So joining us on the program now is Stephanie Cohn. She's the Director of Brand Marketing for Sneakaway, and a big welcome to the show, Stephanie.
Hi, Randall. Good morning.
Yeah, great to have you joining us today. How long has Sneakaway been around now? I feel like I joined it maybe a year ago.
We're about to celebrate our 2-year anniversary in September.
Aha.
So quite possible you joined a year ago. Yep.
And you are part of a much larger travel corporation, Smarter Travel Media, which the best airline deals I ever see get emailed to me through Airfare Watchdog. I love that one.
Yes. Yeah, we have a number of travel deal sites in our portfolio. Airfare Watchdog is one of them.
Yeah, and then Smarter Travel, we've had the currency exchange guy from Smarter Travel
Yes,
was
that's
on.
right.
And that was
And
fantastic.
we actually launched Tingo. I don't know if you've heard Tingo. Tingo launched in March, and it's a hotel booking site, and we track the hotel that you book and refund you the difference if the rate drops after you book.
Hey, I like that.
That's another great one, too.
And is it Tingo? Like,
Yep.
Okay, so
Like bingo, Tingo.
I like that. Okay, so let's chat Sneakaway, and how does it work? So I get an email on my smartphone, and it says, hey, there's a resort in Palm Springs for half the price.
So are you familiar with flash sales?
Yes.
Okay, great. So flash sales, as you know, are limited time only, but you get, deep discounts on what we like to say affordable luxury. So the way Sneakaway works, you go to the site, you put in your email address. It's members only. We like to say the deals are too good to be public. Once you give us your email, then, we alert you when the sales are going live. Almost every day, about 5 times a week. We have 12 to 14 sales live weekly, and they last for about 7 days. We have some that are extra secret sneaks that are only live for 48 hours, so those you have to pounce on even faster.
Aha. And so what can we share today with our listeners who might want to get away from the Central Coast, South Bay of the Bay Area and such? What do we have, some good deals?
Yeah, I think we have some great things live right now. Juneau, Alaska is an interesting place, and it's on the West Coast there. And we have the rates right now are about up to 40% off, and it's gorgeous. It's an eco-friendly hotel, which I think your listeners would like.
Oh, yeah. And so
that's a great one.
Juneau's supposed to be beautiful. That's in the Inland Passage, is that right? I don't know my Alaska as well as I should. I know it's the state capital, and it's the only landlocked state capital in the entire United States. And it is the largest city area-wise in the United States. It's huge, like the actual...
They have the space for it up there.
They do. that they do, Patty. Okay, so
well, you definitely know more than Juneau than I do.
Right.
But it is on a pond. It's on a glacial pond, and TripAdvisor travelers raved about the bed and breakfast style service. So you feel like you're in a quaint place and just a gorgeous, great outdoors.
And that's Pearson's Pond Luxury Inn and Adventure Spa.
Yes. And right now, the rates normally are about $219, and we have them on Sneakaway for $159 a night, starting at $159 a night.
Wow.
That's a really good deal,
Yeah,
and I would imagine this is Alaska's peak season. We're getting near the end of it. But,
And we also, we have inventory through the end of the year, so yes, it'll get colder, but they have cozy fireplaces, complimentary breakfast. You get a free bottle of sparkling cider when you check in. So there's a lot of other perks when you book through Sneakaway. We have another place in Arizona in Fountain Hills, which is a spa location, and when you check in, when you book on Sneakaway, you also get a $25 spa credit, and that's the Copper Wind Resort.
Okay, now, Patty, you're the Arizona gal. Where's Fountain Hills?
It is out past Scottsdale. It's a really nice area. Really, really beautiful. If you want to go have that desert experience, that's one of the beautiful spots to go.
Yeah, and again, availability through December. Good flights right from Monterey. I think there's nonstop flights from Monterey there.
Really? That's fantastic. I love when we can take advantage of a flight here on the Central Coast without having to add those couple of extra hours to get to San Francisco or Los Angeles.
Exactly, and those rates are almost 70% off, so really worth checking out. Wow. You can get room nights at $139 a night.
Wow. That is cheap for that area, and that's a really beautiful place, and it's so close to Scottsdale and, shopping and golf courses and all that stuff.
Lots to do.
Now, nothing against our friends in that area, but I have heard it referred to as Snotsdale, because of the high-end stores. And,
that is not too far off the mark.
Okay.
Well, what you save in the hotel, you can spend shopping.
There you go.
I love it. That's a great idea, Stephanie. Okay, throw another one our way.
I don't know if anyone's interested in the East Coast, but Cape Cod is wonderful at this time of the year, especially in September, once all the families go back to school. And we have the Seacrest, which you can get an oceanfront room. And I actually looked at a specific weekend to see, at peak prices on their site. It's up to $450 a night, and we have it for $299 a night on a Saturday night. So that's 65% off. It's fantastic.
I love Cape Cod. Where is this on Cape Cod exactly? Do you know?
It is.
You're out of Boston, aren't you?
I am, yeah. So it's you fly into Boston and you drive right up to the Cape. It's in Falmouth, so not too far.
I know where Falmouth is. A good friend of mine has a vacation home in Falmouth, and so I'm a huge fan of the Cape. And looking at the picture on your website right now, I want to be there.
Yeah, and some of the nights are only $69 a night. If you can go and spend a week, you'll only be paying $69 a night for the weekday rates. It's great.
And the great thing is that nature doesn't really follow the whole school system schedule. And so for my money, the best time to visit Massachusetts is in September, in the end of September, when you get all those amazing fall colors. And then
beautiful.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that the weather in September is some of the nicest in New England. It's still warm, and you don't have the crowds.
All right, let's go south of the border. How about the deal you have going on right now, which is one of Mexico's most popular destinations? It just continues in its popularity, Playa del Carmen.
Yes, Playa del Carmen. You can fly into Cancun. We have availability through December, and room rates are starting from $59 a night.
Did you wait?
Jeez.
Do we have a bad connection? Did you just say $59 a night?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, I'm just going to guess that's not all-inclusive.
It's phenomenal. Nope, it's not all-inclusive, but, again, what you save on the hotel, you can spend doing other things, so...
That's a great deal.
They have, I don't want to say they've overbuilt in Playa del Carmen, but they've put in some huge resorts over the last several years, and they've got a glut of rooms there, so you can get these kind of deals. We're talking really beautiful luxury hotels for $59 a night.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and that does include complimentary breakfast.
Really? So partially inclusive. That's fantastic. Okay, and we have time for, you know what? We don't have time for one more, but there are plenty on the site for everyone to check out. Stephanie Cohn with Sneak Away. Thank you so much for sharing this week's deals.
Thanks. I'll say one more thing, that there's a San Diego hotel, amazing hotel, going live on Monday, so be sure to check out Sneak Away.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I need to go down to
Love
San
it.
Diego, so I'm going to check it out.
Great.
All right, thank you, Stephanie.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
All right, stick around, everyone. A full hour of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio is coming up next here in just a moment. Well, it's our Compass Hour, and we're back in just a moment. And hello, Crush 92.5 listeners, and this is your exclusive minute. We have one extra minute just for the Crush listeners, and this is where I just like to say thank you to everyone who is helping us put this show on the air right now. Patty Pyburn, of course, anchoring the news desk. This is our last week for Curtis Cole, who is our reporter intern from Cal Poly. Yeah, he's heading off to the big city, the Big Apple, New York. And first time to New York, so I remember my first time. He must be so excited. Way to go, Curtis. Thank you for all your help over this summer. You've really done some fantastic work. Nicole has one more week with us, Nicole Powers. And then, of course, Anthony Renaro at the audio controls. Ricardo Teodosio working the video if you're watching via your iPhone. And Cora Adama doing the phones. Okay, 1 full hour is next. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break, and we'll be back on the air shortly. It's the top of the hour and time once again for the latest from the Eat, Drink, Explore news desk.
Good morning, all you eat, drink explorers. I'm Patty Pyburn, and here is what's making news this morning. Google Earth imagery shows new, so far undiscovered pyramids. Images of remote sites in Egypt show 2 pyramid complexes containing what may be 8 pyramids of various sizes. The 2 sites are located 90 miles apart in northern Egypt and contain a pyramid-like structure that is 3 times the size of the Great Pyramid. A satellite archaeology researcher in North Carolina spotted these and verified they were previously undiscovered by Egyptologists and pyramid experts. A team of researchers will visit the sites and verify the findings. Some U.S. airlines are setting records for punctuality and luggage handling. According to a new air travel consumer report, 15 of the largest domestic airlines set all-time records for on-time performance, fewest long tarmac delays, lowest rates of canceled flights, and mishandled baggage during the first half of 2012. This is the best performance record since this type of flight data was first recorded about 25 years ago. The carriers reported only 4 tarmac delays longer than 3 hours in the last 6 months compared to 586 in 2009. The changes come from a Department of Transportation rule for domestic flights that went into effect in 2010. IKEA, the world's largest furniture retailer, plans to get into the travel industry with a line of budget hotels across Europe. IKEA will build 100 budget designer hotels in the UK, but the hotels, I should say, will not feature IKEA furniture. The company says they are not going to be IKEA hotels. They are just a continuation of the company's normal real estate investments. IKEA has been involved in real estate since the 90s. An airline is helping U.S. flyers exercise their right to vote. Virgin America is inviting passengers to use their smartphones to download a voter registration app while in the air. This is through November. A note, though, California residents must be registered to vote by October 22nd. The project is part of an initiative by the organization Rock the Vote. All right, Curtis Cole joining us now to discuss Proposition 37. That's the labeling of genetically engineered foods. Curtis.
Thank you, Patty. Well, a new finance report from the Prop 37 campaign shows that GMO giant Monsanto just contributed more than $4 million to prevent companies from having to label food products and identify them as genetically modified foods. As of right now, about $25 million have been contributed to defeat the proposition, with $23 million of that being donated within the last week and a half. Dow AgroSciences and PepsiCo are among the other top spenders to fight the bill. Of the top 20 companies fighting the California proposition, only one is from California, and that is Nestle USA. The Yes on 37 campaign has received about $2.5 million in total contributions, half of just a single donation by Monsanto. More than 40 other countries in the world require GMO labeling on food products, and if passed, Prop 37 would add California to that list. I spoke with Stacy Malkin from California Right to Know, the organization responsible for the creation of this proposition, and she found it alarming that almost all the financial efforts to fight Prop 37 come from organizations that are based outside of California. And here is what she had to say. Can't seem to find it. Well, she basically touched on the fact that... Let's see if I can find it real quick. Okay, here she is.
You know, I think in many ways this is also about the big pesticide agricultural companies against California's thriving natural and sustainable food industry. This is very much about the moms and dads of California against big pesticide companies and junk food companies that don't want us to know what they're doing to the food system.
So I attempted to contact the No on Prop 37 organization, but they said they could not get back to me on time with a statement regarding the sudden influx of money. But we will see what happens in November, and we will follow a flood of campaign advertisements until then.
All right, Curtis, good information. Thank you for that. Taking a quick look at our weather conditions. They are cool and bringing some much-needed showers across the plains and Midwest, and that is providing relief for some drought-ridden areas of the United States. The Central Coast is seeing slightly cooler temperatures across this weekend. Highs at the coast in the 60s and 80s. We'll see 90s in the inland areas. A slight chance for thunder showers in the mountainous areas, especially in the southern portions of Santa Barbara County, Ventura, and LA counties.
Eat, Drink, Explore Media is your lifestyle information source. Our focus, food, wine, craft beer, travel, and tourism trends, with a slant towards sustainable and healthy options. Whether it's hot deals or tips for hotels and flights, an update on what's currently fresh at your local farmer's market, or the latest restaurant and beverage news, we've got you covered from 8 to 10 each and every Saturday morning. Live on Crush 92.5 in San Luis Obispo County and online at eatdrinkexplore.com. Also, check out our new free smartphone and tablet app. Simply search 3 words, Eat, Drink, Explore, either in Google Play on your Android device or in the App Store on your iPhone or iPad. This free app gives you access to contests, past radio segments, our Facebook and Twitter feeds, and you can watch live video of the radio broadcast while listening to it here on The Crush. Eat, Drink, Explore Media, your source for the lifestyle you love.
Delicious, nutritious, and fabulously fun.
Is this real life?
Best of all, your comments.
That was a real money saver. Thanks, Randall.
So did it work out for you?
Your hotel tip was spot on.
You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. But don't just sit there. It's an interactive program, honey.
Are you sure this is legal? I don't know. It's fun though, isn't it?
Pick your pleasure. Tweet, chat, post, email, even call us on the telly. Whatever works for you. Our topics today, food, drinks, travel, and a whole lot more fun. So let's pop the cork on this thing and get the party started. Give it up now for our fantastic host, the wonderful and talented Mr. Randall White.
I think that's the champagne talking.
And a very good morning, everyone. Glad you could join us here for the show today. I'm your host, Randall White, and we are coming to you live from California's gorgeous Central Coast. Each week, we bring you current information on food, beverages, and travel trends so you can get the most out of your life. This is our Compass Hour, a fun spin on the typical talk show. And all the guests we have on this hour of the program are tied together by one word. And this week's Compass word is farmer, or the plural, farmers, Miss Patty Piper. So, it's the, either way you want to take the word. We're using farmers this morning.
Okay.
So based on that word, we are going to find out which weekly farmers market is currently America's favorite. We'll also narrow it down to California and find out which ones are in the lead right now. It's a contest, and you still have time to vote on your own.
Oh, very nice.
Right, so we'll explain that. We'll also get some tips on making farm fresh cocktails at your farmer's market.
Cheers.
Well, we do some spin. At some point, we'll have to share some of the different cocktails we make. And what's the strawberry mix drink you make for your kids?
Oh, basically smashed up strawberries and some agave nectar with basil and soda water.
Yeah.
Simple.
And it's healthy, and they love it.
They love it.
In place of your pop. Or whatever you want to call it.
Soda pop.
Oh, we bought a Soda Stream the other day. We're making our own soda at home now.
And guess who wants one?
Quillen.
Dresden.
Oh, Dresden.
You were so close.
Yeah.
50-50 chance.
Right. Patty's kids. Lovely teenage kids. You don't say that about teenagers often enough, but in Patty's case, it's true. All right. Finally, we meet the man behind some very unique highway art. If you travel up and down the Central Coast in California, mainly along Highway 101, you see these giant murals of farmers. Well, have you ever wondered, what is that all about? Where did those come from? We're going to speak with the artist behind those murals coming up later in the show. Before we get to any of that, we need to let you know that this hour of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio is brought to you by Kelly's at the Grill at Hunter Ranch Golf Course. You've heard us talk about this now for months. If you haven't tried it yet, make it today or tomorrow that you do. It is so good. Best kept restaurant secret on the Central Coast. Open 7 days a week for breakfast and lunch. Happy hour, daily from 3 until 6. And then dinners on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Their brunch is amazing. Bottomless. One word, I'll tell you. We'll have to make that
a reason to go.
our compass word at some point. All right, Kelly's at the Grill at Hunter Ranch Golf Course, located on 46 East past Airport Road. All right, Patty, it's our new-fangled segment. It is trivia regarding the compass word. Okay. Do you have your trivia questions up?
Ready here?
Oh yeah, if you could see her, she's doing that, warm-up stuff with her arms, making boxing things. I don't know what that's all about. We hope it doesn't come to blows.
It's the trivia duel.
Right. A bumblebee just flew in our studio here because we have the windows open. Oh, and it just flew out again. Okay, so Patty, do you mind if I start?
No, go right ahead.
Okay, so this is all based on the word farmers, okay, because that's our compass word. So each trivia question needs to include the word farmers in it in some relation.
Mm-hmm.
What is the name of that famous painting that shows a pair of farmers, presumably a husband and a wife, with the man holding a pitchfork?
I know what you're talking about, but...
wait, Nicole, our reporter, no? She looked like she was going to have it.
I mean, of course I know. Everyone knows that
painting.
I think everyone knows that. I don't
know
the name.
Painted by a guy named Grant Wood in 1930.
Okay.
Currently on display at the Art Institute of Chicago. It is called American Gothic. So Patty, sadly,
of course,
yeah, Patty didn't get it right. Did you hear the boing noise? That's the you got it wrong sound. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
all right, so go ahead. Now it's your turn.
Okay, so we're talking about farmers. So where did the world's first farmers begin farming?
I'll say Ethiopia.
I'll say you're wrong.
Oh.
About 10,000 BC
Uh-huh.
in an area known as the Fertile Crescent.
Yes.
This is where Israel, Lebanon, and Syria are now located.
Okay.
And it was because of regular rainfall, making it ideal for growing crops nearby Mesopotamia.
Mhm.
Thank you. Had more fertile soil, but they had to wait till they developed irrigation to
And
start
that's when
there.
we stopped being hunter-gatherers and
Mhm.
sat down a bit. Okay.
Yes.
There have been 7 farmers, count them, 7, who have gone on to become presidents of the United States.
Oh.
The most recent being Jimmy Carter. He was what? A peanut farmer.
Of
right?
course.
Which farmer turned president preceded Mr. Carter as the 33rd president of the United States from 1945 to 1953?
I don't know.
Okay, well, Patty, I have this to say only. Harry S. Truman Farm is currently in a national park in Independence, Missouri. Patty's family's from Missouri. You should have known this. But yes. Okay. Fire away. I'm ready to not know one, too.
In the theme of first farmers, what did the first farmers, hunter-gatherers turned farmers, what did they grow?
Okay, it wasn't corn. I'm going to say barley.
Ding, 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 ding.
No, I have that sound.
Very nice.
Yes.
It was a version of barley. They grew some other grains too. Emmer and einkorn. Those are forms of wheat. That's what they grew.
I love it. I'm going to give myself a second bell just because I was so excited. Okay, according to the Farmer's Almanac, what do you call a cluster of bananas?
A bunch?
That's what I think a lot of people right now, whether they're listening in their car or at home, they're like, a bunch. No, a cluster. Oh, but first we need to go.
I know.
A cluster of bananas is called a hand, and it consists of 10 to 20 individual bananas. But this is very interesting. The individual bananas are known as fingers, and the word banana comes from the Arabic word for finger.
Oh, interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah. So
and now we know.
I like that one. Okay, final one, everyone. Here goes. Can I get 2 right in a row?
We'll see. Okay, so the first 2, I should say, came from Fact Monster. That's where I found my information. This is from National Geographic.
Okay.
What flower was one of the first crops domesticated by farmers in North America? Is that specific enough for you?
Okay, say that again.
First flower.
Uh-huh.
One of the first crops domesticated by farmers in North America.
Sunflower.
Yes, very good. You're right.
Okay.
They were found in Mexico, 300 BC. Before that, in the U.S., about 2000 BC, of course, grown by Native Americans. The Riverton people in what is now Illinois is one of the first sites where they found it. They were growing things, researchers say, not from necessity, but they lived in an abundant area. It was for taste. This is what they wanted to eat.
Yeah.
Sunflowers being one of those things.
And you take a bunch of sunflowers and sunflower seeds and mash it up, and you get the basis of hummus.
Yeah.
Essentially.
It's like a form of peanut butter, but sunflowers.
High in protein, really good for you. So, interesting stuff, Patty. I like our new trivia segment.
Yeah.
We'll have to...
Good stuff.
We'll continue it with more sound effects. We need to have the Jeopardy music playing so we don't have that silence.
While we're thinking.
Okay, just after the break, in the Farmer's Compass word tradition, we are going to take a look at America's favorite farmers markets. Is yours on the list? If not, get it on the list. You still have time to vote. We're back in just a moment.
Imagine a world where bullying isn't considered a normal part of childhood.
A world where I'm not afraid to go to school.
To speak out.
To be myself.
A world where I'm not afraid to be caught alone.
Come on, punk.
We have the power to stop the bullying. Speak out.
Speak up.
Educate.
Find out what to look for and how you can make a difference at bullying.org.
Bullying Awareness Week starts November 16th. Details at bullyingawarenessweek.org.
Would it be crazy if you just stopped everything, packed your bags and left for a week, a month, a year? What if you left for 2 years? Would people think you'd lost your mind? What if you were going far away to help in a village on the edge of the Gobi Desert? A village crowded with Buddhist temples, not skyscrapers. A place where there isn't a word for recluse, but 1,000 words for community. Would it be crazy to go 5,000 miles from home? To spend time with people the rest of the world only reads about? To build libraries and fill them with stories? Prepare a meal with food you helped grow? To teach children and learn a thing or two about yourself? Would that be crazy? Peace Corps. Life is calling. How far will you go? To find out more, call 1-800-424-8580 or visit peacecorps.gov.
Seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit pesticidefreelawns.org. The folks who brought you this public service message. Check out pesticidefreelawns.org today.
The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back shortly. Did you know our weekly Saturday morning radio show also has a video simulcast on Ustream? You can watch it live or view pre-recorded versions while on the go by simply downloading our free Eat, Drink, Explore app for your smartphone or tablet device. To find it, just head to Google Play or the Apple App Store and search Eat, Drink, Explore. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Curious about information you've heard on today's show? Just head to eatdrinkexplore.com and head to the weekly program summary section under the radio tab. We always list the websites and any other important facts associated with each of our guests we have on the program. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Very good morning, everyone. Great to have you joining us here. It is Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, a beautiful August morning. I'm your host, Randall White, joined by the lovely and talented Patty Pyburn, who, let's see, I got 2 out of 3 right on our trivia question.
0 out of 0, or 0 out of 3.
I gave you some pretty tough ones. So
seriously, come on.
I will make them more difficult, or less difficult, I'm sorry. No, right, more. Okay, so if you are listening to my voice on the radio right now, or Patty's voice for that matter, then just based on where our stations are located, I know you have access to some awesome weekly farmers markets. In fact, the Eat Drink Explorer studio sits directly above Higuera Street in downtown San Luis Obispo, and a food portion of the market every Thursday night is directly below our windows. And when I am busy putting together the weekend show and the windows are open, I can smell the tri-tip cooking, the artichokes that they've got.
That's
on
one
the
way
grill.
to get an appetite going.
Oh boy, let me tell you. In my opinion, the San Luis Obispo Farmers Market is among the best in the nation. But here's the thing: it doesn't even rank in the top 5 according to the America's Favorite Farmers Market contest put on by farmland.org. No, I'm going to run down the list right now
let's
of
hear it.
California's favorite farmers markets. Okay, coming in at number 1, and I should mention that the vote is still operating. So
you can still vote.
If you're not happy with this list of top 5 and you're like, why isn't mine on there? Well, you have plenty of time to hop on board and vote for your own. So coming in at number 1 right now is the Davis Farmers Market, and I understand up at UC Davis that is a fantastic market up there. They're right in the heart of the Sacramento Valley, and
so of course.
Then coming in at number 2 is the La Jolla Open Air Market. That one's down in San Diego County, and if I remember correctly, I think that the proceeds from this market go to help a local school.
Oh,
so
nice.
I'm happy to see that they're number 2, if that's the same market I'm thinking of. Then coming in at number 3 is in our listening area, the Aptos Farmers Market, which also comes in on another list of this is California, but the large markets within the nation, the Aptos market is
Makes
within the
that
top
list.
20.
Okay.
So
very nice.
hats off to that. The Healdsburg Certified Farmers Market right now in 4th place. That is in Sonoma County. Healdsburg is such a cute wine country town. If you've never been to it, I'm not saying to skip Napa or Sonoma, but give
that out.
Yeah, give Healdsburg a shot, and then head over into the beautiful Russian River Valley as well. Okay, number 5 on this top 5 is the Menlo Park Farmers Market on the peninsula in the Bay Area. So there you have it. Davis, La Jolla, Aptos, Healdsburg, and Menlo Park. I remember the first time I said Aptos, I said Aptos, and Patty jumped on me so fast. And and I grew up that direction, but I don't know why I didn't know that. So I felt sort of silly. And we'll get to the top 20 in just a moment and explain exactly
I just voted for my favorite.
Did you just vote? What'd you vote for?
Can you guess?
The San Luis Obispo Thursday night market?
How did you know?
Funny thing is I don't shop at that one. I shop at the Saturday morning market because it's more produce oriented.
A lot of times I hit the Arroyo Grande one because it's easy for me. But I said I like this one. They ask you why you like it. I said for its diversity and easy access, because it really is pretty easy to get to the Thursday night farmers market.
Oh, for sure. Especially where we're located.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, joining us now to discuss the contest and the overall role of American Farmland Trust, which runs farmland.org, is the organization's president, John Scholl. Welcome to the program, John.
Well, good morning. I'm glad to be with you.
We're happy to have you here for sure. This is a fun contest. And of the different market people I've spoken with over the past week, they've all said, oh, yeah, we love Farmland Trust. You have a very positive reputation from everyone I've spoken to.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Certainly, we've been working at it for a number of years on a number of fronts, and I would certainly agree that this is an exciting contest. We have a lot of fun with it as well.
Now, the overall goal of your organization is to preserve farmland in America. Was there when the organization was founded, was there a threat of diminishing farmland?
Well, there absolutely was, and there continues to be today. With all the pressures and expectations we have of what we expect our family farmers to produce, we see as we look across the country a lot of threats coming to farmland, a lot of it coming from development, land being converted into other uses, but there's also a conservation component, making sure that we have the land that we're using in agriculture wisely, so it will continue to be productive and grow the healthy fruits and vegetables and all the other things that we expect our family farmers to provide.
Now, John, what have you found an effective means of getting communities to kind of unite behind saving the farmland that may be directly near them?
Well, that's actually changed over the years. We have a number of tools that we've used since we started as an organization 30 years ago, which is, finding local support for policies that encourage agriculture to be able to thrive. We've used easements in different parts of the country to make sure that the landowner can determine that land will remain in agricultural production and help to drive development into areas that maybe aren't quite as well suited for agricultural production. More recently, we've gotten into things like the America's Favorite Farmers Market contest, realizing that the more we can do to provide opportunities for farmers to be able to connect with consumers and sell produce directly, that brings a level of economic viability, which if we can keep farmers viable, keep family farmers on the land, then we think we have a much better chance of being able to keep that land in agricultural production.
John, I imagine Farmland Trust must be riding this whole locavore farmers market wave that seems to be sweeping the U.S.
Well, we absolutely are. There's a lot more interest as the years go on in how's my food being grown, where is it being grown, and if you look at the kind of land that really is under the greatest amount of pressure to be converted, quite often it's in those areas, or generally it's in those areas that are close to cities, close to urban populations, where you just have a tremendous opportunity to connect with consumers on a one-to-one basis through things like farmers markets. And so that's really, I think, the main driver we have in getting involved in this contest, is to draw attention to farmers market so that people not only can have access to fresh local fruits and vegetables, but also help accomplish that very serious purpose of keeping family farmers on the land and keeping that agricultural land in agricultural production.
Now, Patty just voted for her favorite market. It's that easy, huh?
Yes, It really is. We have a website specifically designed for this. It's www.votemyfarmersmarket.org. Anybody can get online and vote for their favorite market. You can vote for as many markets as you want. You can only vote for your one market one time. The contest runs through Labor Day, midnight, Monday, September 3rd. So you still have time to get on and vote for your favorite farmer's market.
Yeah, we're running out of time. So if you're listening to this right now and you want your farmer's market on the list, get on it. I'll tell you, I'm a little bit disappointed in the top 20 list, being a Californian and knowing the great number of markets we have here. Currently in the top 20, only the Davis market makes the list at 19 when we're talking about California markets. I'm shocked to not see Chico, San Luis Obispo, the Ferry Plaza Market in San Francisco.
And isn't there one like Santa Monica or something that a lot of our growers in the Central Coast head down to?
Yeah, the Santa Monica Market's fantastic. And and one that I'm really surprised not to see on here is from my old stomping grounds, the Saturday morning Madison, Wisconsin market up the road from you, John. I'm surprised that's not on the list either. What are you finding? How is it the markets that promote this that get moved up the list?
Yeah, certainly that's an important component of it. Number one, I would say you still have time. You still have a couple weeks here where people can vote and help bring attention to the contest and bring attention to your farmer's market. But clearly that's it. Just a lot of it is getting the word out, helping to promote the contest and promote your local farmer's market. And that's really the key. And I certainly hope that through efforts like what you're doing here this morning, you can help get that word out and create some great enthusiasm for these kinds of markets and these kinds of opportunities that it brings to the local family farmers. And also be able to bring some very positive attention to farmers markets that obviously are doing a great job that you're familiar with and certainly probably deserve the recognition that this contest might be able to bring them.
American Farmland Trust Organization President John Scholl with the America's Favorite Farmers Market Contest. We have a link for you under today's program summary at eatdrinkexplore.com. John, thank you so much. I know you have a lot of meetings today, so we'll let you get off to those.
Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure being with you.
Likewise. Okay, just ahead, the secrets behind making a delicious farm-to-glass cocktail with plenty of sampling to be had. All right, you're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network live from the Central Coast. We're back in just a moment.
You'll never see another show like Confessions of a Love Junkie. Poignant, hilarious, moving, thrilling. It's a roller coaster ride for all the senses. A cast of characters you'll fall in love with, dances of every genre, side-splitting comedy, and moments of sheer beauty. A therapist trying to work through her own love-related issues while working with 4 clients. The good girl ready to go bad. The player who's also a mama's boy, the couple grappling with marriage issues, and the fresh out-of-the-closet guy with an identity crisis. This show tickles the funny bone, captivates the mind, and takes you on a journey you'll never forget. 3 shows only at the Performing Arts Center in San Luis Obispo, Friday, August 17th at 7 p.m., Saturday, August 18th at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. For tickets, call 805-756-ARTS. That's 805-756-2787. Come on down to the beautiful Central Coast and see the show you'll talk about for weeks. Confessions of a Love Junkie. Some mature content suggested for ages 16 and over.
The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back shortly. Did you know our weekly Saturday morning radio show also has a video simulcast on Ustream? You can watch it live or view pre-recorded versions while on the go by simply downloading our free Eat, Drink, Explore app for your smartphone or tablet device. To find it, just head to Google Play or the Apple App Store and search Eat, Drink, Explore. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Curious about information you've heard on today's show? Just head to eatdrinkexplore.com and head to the weekly program summary section under the radio tab. We always list the websites and any other important facts associated with each of our guests we have on the program. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Thank you for being a regular listener to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program. If you have any feedback for us, we'd love to hear it. Simply send a note to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly.
Welcome back to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network. Here now is your fabulous host, Mr. Randall White.
And a very good morning to you. We're glad you can join us as we discuss all things food, beverages, and travel each and every week from 8 to 10 a.m. right here on this very station. The topics for this hour of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, all based on something we call a compass word, so it's our compass hour. And that word this morning is farmers. So everything has a farmer's connection, and often when we think of items available at the farmer's market, we think of food, right, Patty? I mean,
of
that's
course.
what you do. Whether it be the produce available or sometimes people make things, handcrafted items that are available, like honey and
You know, the thing about it is
candles.
It's one of those things that connects us all. We all eat.
Right. And so you're right. That's wow, Patty, with this morning's deep thought. Okay.
Possibly a new segment to come.
Well, we may think of food, but a growing trend in the U.S. is to mix farm-fresh ingredients together for delicious, nutritious, and refreshing cocktails.
Hey,
Yes.
a reason that we all drink.
Yes. Another thing that brings us all together, sometimes in awkward ways. But an organization based in San Francisco called Cuesa, it's spelled C-U-E-S-A, and it's an acronym. We'll learn about that coming up, has an event just ahead to teach you the best methods for mixing up these drinks from some of the Bay Area's top mixologists. Dave Stockdale is the executive director of Cuesa and joins us now with more on the upcoming event and Cuesa itself. And a good morning to you, Dave.
Good morning. I'm happy to celebrate both eating and drinking.
And in the freshest, most locally available way possible, right?
Absolutely.
What is the overall objective of Cuesa?
Well, CUESA, as you mentioned, is an acronym, and it stands for Center for Urban Education About Sustainable Agriculture. Of course, we're most widely known for operating the Ferry Plaza Farmers Market in downtown San Francisco three days a week, but our genesis was really about educating urban consumers about the diversity, the quality of agricultural products, and in particular the importance of seeking out sustainably produced products. And so we're really this nexus of bringing the best local farmers and restaurateurs and chefs and avid shoppers together to celebrate great food. And as you mentioned, the trend has grown to think beyond just making salads and stews, but other ways to celebrate that good produce through things like drinks.
Yeah, high-end restaurants are now really incorporating fresh produce that they pick up at their local markets. I know a lot of restaurants in Los Angeles send their bartenders to the Santa Monica Farmers Market in order to mix up fresh mint and basil and muddle berries and all that sort of thing. And I know that that's happening across the board in California, including in San Francisco. And you have an event that features some of these bartenders showing people how to incorporate farmers market products into some delicious cocktails. This is coming up when?
This is actually coming up a week and a half, Wednesday, August 29th, from 5:30 to 8 p.m. in front of the Ferry Building. We'll be out there enjoying what we hope will be great San Francisco weather, which means 50. Maybe up to 60. It is summer in San Francisco, but beautiful views, great experience, and really a lot of fun. We've been doing these events now for almost 3 years. We do them once a quarter. We partner with the Northern California chapter of the U.S. Bartenders Guild, and it's really an opportunity to explore all the different ways you can use fresh products from the farmers markets in cocktails. And of course we have food bites and things to go along with it, and it's very interactive. People are watching the drinks. The bartenders explain what they're doing, why they do it the certain ways. We send people home with the recipes so they can continue to enjoy their favorite cocktails long after the event. And they're just really, really fun activities.
Now, Dave, it sounds delicious, and I'm curious. Not everyone's going to be able to make it there. So can you give us maybe a little preview? Is there like a trend in farm fresh ingredients right now, something that the mixologists are using that maybe we haven't thought of?
They're using any and everything, and actually at these events in particular, we challenge them to do something they haven't done before, make a drink they don't normally make at their bar or restaurant. And it's the trend really is trying to be creative with what's in season at the moment. So, for instance, this time of year for us, you'll see a lot of stone fruit being used, figs, melons, fresh herbs of all kinds, even vegetables like carrots that are juiced and incorporated into cocktails. There are certainly trends that evolve over time, but I think really what we're seeing is just this explosion of creativity and experimentation. And part of the fun of this event is we let the public vote. And so after you've sampled all these sometimes wonderful, sometimes just strange concoctions, then you vote. But the bottom line for the bars and the restaurants is many of the drinks they experiment with here then end up being on their menus because the public has responded well to their creative pursuit.
I love when the bartenders are challenged in that way because it really makes them come up with some unique ideas. Often savory items you wouldn't consider.
Absolutely.
End up in a cocktail. Now I'll tell you what, the location couldn't be better. I'm assuming that you have this cocktail competition right there at the Ferry Plaza, adjacent to the market, right?
Correct.
And so if you've never been to the Ferry Plaza Farmers Market, you can get there so easily by public transportation. BART, Muni, the streetcar line, and the ferries all drop you off at this location. It is really just at a nexus of public transit, which makes it easy if you're going to be drinking at this thing to get
a good choice. Yes,
right, to get back.
Yes, we recommend that.
And I left out cable car. The cable car turns around not far from there as well. So you have such a beautiful setting right there on the Embarcadero with the Embarcadero Center skyscrapers towering over you, and then you have what is one of the best farmers markets in the nation, I think, with the produce that I've been to the Saturday morning one. Is there a Wednesday one? Is that why you have it on Wednesday nights also?
No, actually, our other markets are on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We have it on Wednesdays because that means we are able to get all the fresh products at the Tuesday market, but then have time to set up for the event because it does take a while to set up, but it's based on the products that we buy on Tuesday.
And then the third thing that I love about this farmers market that's based at the Ferry Plaza is if you do not find what you need available from the farmers, you step inside the Ferry Plaza and you have all of the best artisan breads and cheeses, and the list just goes on, and even places where you can buy the tools you need. I think a sur la table is there too.
Perfect.
To
Perfect
mix up
combination.
everything you need. Yes. So really, what a great location. How long has the farmers market been operating there now at the plaza?
We moved here in 2003, so not quite a decade, and the market itself is about to celebrate 20 years. So it's been an amazing opportunity for our farmers, our artisans, to be able to be in this great location, and like I said, it's really become a nexus for all these fun activities as well.
So I'm wondering, after the event is over, Dave, and I should let people know we're speaking with Dave Stockdale. He's the executive director of Cuesa, that is CUESA. After the event is over, will the winning recipes be available through the Cuesa website?
Well, what we've been doing is sending them back out as files to everybody who comes to the event. But if you were to send us an email or perhaps sign up for our free weekly electronic newsletter, then you would be able to access them that way as we follow up and post things after the events.
I'll tell you what, the man operating our audio right now, Anthony, just said, as you were saying, if you sign up for our, and before you could even get it out, I heard him say, just did.
It's that easy, folks.
Right.
It's almost as easy as going on the website to vote for us for your favorite farmers market, like you've been talking about. I managed to sneak that one in, didn't I?
In fact, Dave, I mentioned that during the segment, I mentioned the San Francisco Ferry Plaza Market because I was surprised to see such a fantastic market visited by so many tourists and locals alike that it wasn't in the top 5 for California or the top 20 for the nation, but it's just because you really haven't promoted it all that much, and it's the markets that promote that get moved up that list, right?
Yeah, that might be part of it. I like to think it's because our customers are so focused on their shopping and visiting with their friends in the market and on the community that we create here that they run out of time and forget to vote.
That's a great explanation. I love it.
That is a great explanation. So that's not the only event. You have events all the time coming up. So anything else you want to plug?
Well, of course, every week we have cooking demonstrations by nationally known chefs here at the market, and celebrations. Today happens to be the Melon Madness celebration, so all things melon, with special demonstrations and sampling and education and games and all. And then coming up in October is our biggest, most lavish celebration of the year called Sunday Supper on Sunday, October 14th, and that it's hors d'oeuvres, a reception, but then it's followed by a 4-course whole beast feast, served family style. The room is divided into 6 sections, and each section is a separate team of top-flight chefs from the area,
Dave,
and a whole beast theme. So they'll bring up a whole pig, or they'll bring up a whole salmon, or whatever to carve and serve in front of you. So it's
Gotta
amazing.
cut you off there, Dave. I apologize. It's
Sounds
Quesa.
awesome.
Yeah, it's Quesa.org. We have a link, of course, at eatdrinkexplore.com. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. Happy eating and drinking.
We're back in a minute.
You'll never see another show like Confessions of a Love Junkie. Poignant, hilarious, moving, thrilling. It's a roller coaster ride for all the senses. Dances of every genre, side-splitting comedy, and moments of sheer beauty. 3 shows only at the Performing Arts Center in San Luis Obispo. Friday, August 17th at 7 p.m., Saturday, August 18th at 2 p.m. and 805-756-2787. Come on down to the beautiful Central Coast and see a show you'll talk about for weeks. Confessions of a Love Junkie. Summer tour content suggested.
This is Betty White. I know you don't need one more thing to worry about, but listen. High blood pressure can cause kidney damage, blindness, heart attack, stroke, and you can have high blood pressure even if you feel all right. 1 in 7 adults has it, but it's easy to get your blood pressure checked, and you can treat it if it is too high. So don't worry about it, don't ignore it, just see your doctor and check it out.
For your free booklet, visit the Will Rogers Institute at wrinstitute.org and find us on Facebook and Twitter.
The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back shortly. Did you know our weekly Saturday morning radio show also has a video simulcast on Ustream? You can watch it live or view pre-recorded versions while on the go by simply downloading our free Eat, Drink, Explore app for your smartphone or tablet device. To find it, just head to Google Play or the Apple App Store and search Eat, Drink, Explore. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Curious about information you've heard on today's show? Just head to eatdrinkexplore.com and head to the weekly program summary section under the radio tab. We always list the websites and any other important facts associated with each of our guests we have on the program. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. A very good morning to you on this August day. Have we reached the dog days of summer yet? Isn't that when in August, I think? I'm not sure, Patty Piper.
I'm not sure when the dog days of summer are. You know why? Because we don't really have to experience the dog days of summer in California.
No. I'm sure that most of the rest of the nation right now is like, we don't...
They have had some dog days, I can tell you.
We do not need any more summer at this rate anyway. Hey, I have a joke for you.
Okay, let's hear it.
And this
Do you have your dun-dun sound effects?
You know, I don't.
Okay.
It.
Oh,
yeah.
well, we'll hear it anyways.
Yes. So this comes from our outgoing intern, Curtis Cole, who's leaving for New York today, as a matter of fact. The Big
He's a
Apple.
jet setter.
Yes. Hey, Curtis, did you get in at the Food Network? Are you going to be able to check that out a little bit? No. So if anyone has any connections to the Food Network,
Curtis needs
help out our Curtis. He's been a great intern all summer long, and so we want to help him. He just wants to check it out, maybe sit in on a show or something. All right. So anyway, he gave us a joke during the commercial break, and I thought it was fun.
It was the reference to Melon Madness at the farmer's market.
Right. So how did the watermelon end his engagement to the honeydew?
I don't know.
He told her we can't elope. Hey, you can share that with the kids. Those are the types of jokes we like here over the radio anyway, right? So that's a good one, Curtis. Just for that, you get an A+ for the day. He actually helped with content in more than one way. So
thank you, Curtis. Thank you for your efforts.
All right, lots of melons and produce and such grown throughout Monterey County for sure. It is the salad bowl, right? The Salinas Valley is known as
salad bowl of the world.
Yeah, and it really is. Boy, next time you go shopping, just check to see where your lettuce bag came from, or
if you're picking it up like Costco and you got Foxy lettuce.
Yeah,
Salinas.
Right, exactly.
And I could go on
and on and on and on. Right. I do the one in our refrigerator right now is baby lettuce. Is it baby? Is that how it's pronounced? BABE lettuce.
That's actually Santa Maria.
That's Santa Maria, and it's the organic. I like that.
Yeah. Fresh Express. Lots of salads from people who buy the bag
they're
salad.
huge.
Started in Salinas. First bag salads.
So I started noticing, because I make several trips up and down Highway 101 through Monterey County, have my family up in the Bay Area, and I started noticing, I'm not sure how long it's been now, but these giant murals of farmers working in the field. And I've always assumed, well, that must...
When I moved there in about 2000, they were there. My kids were infatuated with them.
Yeah, because they're really interesting, and they capture these unique looks of the different farmers. And I've noticed more and more over time. And from what I understand, they're not just along Highway 101. They're also along Highway 68, according to Nicole Powers, one of our other reporters on the show.
She's not lying. I've seen them.
Yeah, who takes them along that route. So I started scratching my head, and I thought, where do these come from? Well, it turns out there's a local artist, John Cierney, Salinas, California native, who makes this cutout art, for lack of a better term. We'll ask him what he calls it. Yes, exactly. John, welcome to Eat, Drink, Explore Radio.
Thank you. Good morning.
Nice to have you. And do I understand that you have a, what do you call that, an artist studio downtown Salinas?
Well, I'm in an industrial part of Salinas. I need tall ceilings, and I have a giant easel. But yeah, I've been in the same shop here for the last 16, 17 years.
Now, your farmers are larger than life. These are not life-size cutouts. These are. Do you have a scale that you work with?
Well, at one point I worked life-size with some of these things, and I was realizing that, because most of my things are alongside highways, and you're driving 55 or 60 or faster,
right.
And you really couldn't. You could see them, but you couldn't quite take them in. So I needed to work bigger. So I did a series of 10 giant field workers for a local farmer here, and I just had to kind of ask some carpenter friends of mine, how tall could I make these and still make them withstand the wind? And I came up with 18 feet as kind of a blueprint for my first ones, and that's generally what they are, about 3 times life size.
My current favorite, and I don't know, Patty, you can chime in on this if you've seen it, Nicole as well, is when you're heading north on 101 south of King City, you can only get the right perspective for a moment. It is a short moment, and it is a woman. Right? Nicole knows exactly which one I'm talking about. It's a picture of a woman, and for a brief second, you are looking at it so that she's in perspective. That seems outside the norm of the rest of yours. How did you come up with that idea?
I wanted to work, do a really, really big one, but I couldn't make them too big because you get this. That one's 70 foot tall, but it's along the side of the slope of a highway. So in order to do that, I had to do a program where I could stretch out the image. So you're right; it only looks good for a moment. But I wanted to kind of blend in with nature more so than I normally do, and that meant just almost like painting it on the mountainside itself. And I just chose an old woman, a sad old woman, although you can't quite see her emotion from the distance. It's about a quarter mile away from the highway. And I just wanted to, and there's a field of poppies below her. I wanted to see how it would look, a portrait on the side of a mountain that I couldn't paint, but I could do it in these little panels of plywood that are spare pieces of plywood that are left over from my other projects. It was a free one. I just did it for fun, and I experimented on a couple of smaller ones first, a dog and a poppy around the Salinas area, and then I just went ahead and tackled that. And the toughest part of the whole project was finding a landowner who would give me permission to just take a little sliver of their property for many years. I can't tell them exactly how many years it'll last. It'll last for probably 20 years plus. And I finally found a family, or several families that own that property, who would let me do that. And fortunately, I had a little bit of a name for myself, so I wasn't quite just a quack saying, I want to do this thing on the side of your mountain.
Okay, so there's one. I used to live in the Salinas area along Highway 68 there for about 5 or 6 years. So my children were super familiar with many of the ones that you have. They just, they were like 3 and 4 when we moved there. So they were infatuated with seeing those when we were driving. Now, a couple that my son would always say, cool car, mommy, cool car. He's hating me right now because he's 16. But you have some with classic cars. The one I really liked was, it had like a broken windshield, and I feel like it was in like the Seaside area.
That's right. There's one for an auto glass shop in Seaside. I did that with another artist, a gal named Olia. But that's one I never see it because it's just a part of the peninsula that I don't drive through. But yeah, that was fun. Most of these people give me carte blanche to come up with an idea, and all they tell me is, I've got an auto glass shop. What can you do? So then I think of little Norman Rockwell type stories.
Right.
Yeah. And they do have sort of a Norman Rockwell look to them. It's a unique painting style that you have, John. I need to let people know that if they're listening on the radio and can't see any of these things and have not seen them before, if you go to johnsirney.com, which we have a link available at eatdrinkexplore.com, you have a great photo gallery there that shows many of your pieces of work. And I just want to thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing it with us. We've run out of time far too quickly. I could go on for much longer, but keep up the great work. You make driving along the Central Coast even more entertaining.
Well, thanks so much, Randall and Patty. I appreciate it.
All right, stick around, everyone. And by stick around, I mean next week. Join us. We've got some great guests already lined up for next week, which should be a lot of fun. If you haven't yet, download our free apps available on Apple and Android devices. Make it a great day, everyone. We'll catch you later. And for all of our Crush listeners, a very good day to you. This is an exclusive for the Crush 92.5. We get a whole extra minute here on Crush, and I want to say a big thank you to everyone who helps put this show together. Patty, did you have something you were... Oh, she's going to show me later.
It's that website you were talking about, John's.
Oh, John's site. Yeah. Oh, you were going to show me the car. Yeah. So seriously, you need to go to his website and check out these artist drawings. They're just our artist paintings that he does. They're just beautiful.
Very cool.
I was curious. I didn't get a chance to ask him whether each one of the paintings is based on a real life person.
Mm-hmm. That's a good question.
Yeah.
That was what I was going to show you. There's a little boy on one of the murals that is a friend of my son, and captured about the age that they were friends around, 5 or 6. I'll show you when we're off air.
Okay, awesome. Hey, well, thank you, Patty Pyburn, for anchoring the news as you always do. Curtis Cole and Nicole Powers reporting for us this week. Anthony Renaro working the sound as he always does. Cora Adama, thank you for getting all of our many guests online, and Ricardo Teodosio for working the video side of things. Make it a great day, everyone. We'll catch you later.